on, everybody? I am up early this morning and I'm heading out to drop the car off because, as you guessed and you just saw, it is time for an oil change. So let me let the windows up some just to get some better sound quality in here. So it is time for me to take Zeus in for another scheduled service appointment, and I decided to make you guys tag along. So we're heading out to Caple Chevy to get Zeus serviced for an oil change. Let's go. I think this is the perfect time to take a quick break. Go ahead, hit that like button, subscribe to the channel, join the ICNV Drive Edition community. This is an interactive community, so if you hit me up on any one of my social media platforms, I will do my best to respond to you, and I may make a video based off the topic you bring up. So become a member, subscribe to the channel. For all my military members, both active and veterans, I'd like to give you guys a big salute, because we know freedom isn't free, and because of you guys, it's the reason we get to enjoy the things we enjoy and do what we do today. So again, salute to all my military family members, active members, and veterans. But let's get back to this video. Well, we've just dropped Zeus off for servicing, so let's take a quick walk through the showroom and see what they got. They got some new pictures up I haven't seen before. Some people ask why did I choose Catfish Chevrolet, and I'll just say like this: when I had my C7 Corvette, I was more experimental with dealerships, meaning I took my C7 Corvette to 3 different dealers to get serviced: Curry Motor Chevrolet in Forest Park, Caple Chevrolet in Oak Grove, and Grosvenor Chevrolet downtown. And what I come to realize is Grosvenor Chevrolet downtown had the best service because they were not only a Chevy dealership, but they were also a Cadillac dealership. So the service department treated you slightly different. Now, between the 2 dealers, the Elk Grove location has always been known for having very experienced Corvette technicians, so I took my Corvette there first. But their wait time to get a vehicle serviced is extremely long, so you got to pre-plan in advance. And since I really didn't want to stop driving my Corvette to wait for servicing, I also checked out Grosvenor Chevrolet downtown. The reason why I chose to stick with Grosvenor Chevrolet for most of my C7 ownership experience was their technician also serviced the V-Series Cadillac, meaning the Cadillac CTS-V. Considering the CTS-V was very similar to the C7 Z06 engine, I felt like the experience was there. So I stuck with Grosvenor Chevrolet through most of my C7 ownership experience. But what I also started to realize is when you go downtown for servicing, you get downtown servicing pricing. So the pricing was a little bit higher than the Elk Grove location. So when I got my C8 and I was hearing all the horror stories of cars falling off lifts and things of that nature, it only makes sense that you were going to go to the most experienced location that you know of. So I reached out to the Elk Grove location. The wait time was ridiculous. But what I also learned from the Elk Grove location, talking to the service manager, was that their other Chevy location in Villa Park actually had a very experienced Corvette technician too, and this was confirmed in several Corvette forums. So when I reached out to the Villa Park location, I was told I had to wait a day or two, which wasn't to me outrageous to wait to get my car serviced, mainly because he was finishing up an overhaul of a C7 Z06, getting some modification work done to put out over 700 horsepower. So if their Corvette technician is doing work like that, I felt like this is a safe location for me to take my C8, and that's how I ended up at Castle Chevy. Okay, we have stepped outside the dealership. The music is gone. No one, all by myself. I'd rather be, but I am all by myself, but that's a whole nother topic. So let's walk the lot real quick. I saw a couple Corvettes and Camaros outside. Figured why not come take a look at it. But you know, it's always a Mustang trying to fit in. So let's take a look. Now, you know, I'm not gonna bash the Mustangs. A lot of my guys own Mustangs, but you know they say, if you want to say something in your rearview mirror, it's always a Mustang. I'm just saying. But for anybody looking for a manual Mustang, they got one at Castle. But they also have a C7 Corvette. It's just a Stingray Z51. Red and black with red and black interior. Unfortunately, it's a coupe, and I say unfortunately because you know I'm all about that drop top life. And please don't say you can remove the Targa top. It's not the same. The Targa top experience with the roof removed at high speeds on the expressway does not sound good, just so you know. But it still is a beautiful car. They also have over here the C4, which probably is my least favorite Corvette, but it's also probably one of the game-changing Corvettes. So it's one of those love-hate relationships. But it is a drop top, so you can't go wrong with that. But I think this one you got to work it out yourself. And then we have a Camaro. Now, interesting enough, I go back and forth with this because I think I want a Camaro for a project car just to play with, but then I really don't want a Camaro. So I'm so undecided, but this one looks kind of decent. It's a drop top, so that's a plus. What year is it? 2001. Nice little backdrop right there. So as we move forward, what you start to see and realize is, although there are some cars on the lot, there's not a lot of cars on the lot. Now, I'm not gonna lie to you, this is probably one of my favorite Jeeps ever made so far, the Grand Cherokee. And I actually was thinking about getting one of these as a daily. And so whenever I see them, I take a look at them. And this is an Overlander with the big roof, the tan leather interior. It's a 2017, but it has 136,000 miles. And I guess at this point, what am I really expecting? Because, you know, I'm looking for like 60. And they've been out for a while, but they've been great cars. And I always wanted to own one, especially this color. But I just can't see myself, and this is just me, guys, nobody else. I can't see myself purchasing a car with 136,000 miles. I've never been a 100,000 mile car owner. Honestly, I don't think I've ever been an 80,000 mile car owner. Usually once cars get about 70,000 miles, 75 to 80, I move them. So nothing I've ever owned in my life has had more than 77,000 miles. Just something to think about. But like I said, there's another Overlander. This is a Laredo. This is a 2019, and this one has 54,000 miles. Now see, it doesn't look, and that's the craziness about it. This one was not as well kept as the white one. The white one almost has twice the amount of miles on it. It actually does. It has twice the amount of miles on it, and the white one looks better. So that just goes to tell you that you can't judge a book by its cover. And also, ownership does matter. So when you're looking to get a car, you might want to pay attention to things like that. Because the gray one fits my desires for mileage, but the white one fits my desires for looks. Let me stop looking at these Jeeps, man. I think I'm gonna just chill out for a while. I'll check back in. I'm about to go catch my ride. I'll check back in when I come pick Zeus up, give you an update on what was done, what they suggest, and the actual cost. That way you can know this will be Zeus's third oil change. We are close to 24,000 miles. We're actually at like 23 and some change. You saw when I showed the speedometer. And I know a lot of you have been asking, how much does it cost to actually service this car? Keep it and keep it maintained. Now, I did have a decision to make, because 9 times out of 10, when I bring Zeus back in next year, if I'm still the owner, which probably I will be, there is a 30,000 mile service coming up that they wanted to do on Zeus. I declined it because I average about 7,000 to 8,000 miles a year. If you put that on there, I'll be somewhere around 31,000 miles, maybe 32. So I may bring him in earlier for servicing next year, or I may just let it go over a little bit and pay for it after the fact. We'll see. But again, Chevy, GM, they make some good cars. So don't freak out. I see a lot of people on the internet always freaking out because they don't get the servicing done right at the exact time and yada, yada, yada. The car is not going to break, and it's not going to die, and it's not going to be damaged. But like I said, let me get up out of here. My ride's waiting, and I'll check back in later. Okay, real quick, I wanted to touch base on this before I close out this video. The cost for the 3-year service on my car ended up being $219.67. That was pretty much covering up the oil change alone. There was 2 updates that was required for my car. I declined one, which is the radio update. And if you want to discuss it more, I'll tell you why I declined the radio update, but that's to each his own. Other than that, there was 2 service other options offered with me. There was the rotation of the tires, and I chose not to get the tires rotated because I didn't think it was worth the money. The reason why I didn't think it was worth the money is because I just put new tires on my car. So as a formality based off you having your factory's tires on, you might want to consider the rotation, but it's not a typical tire rotation. What they're supposed to do is actually swap the tires. So the back doesn't go to the front and the front to the back like in a typical tire rotation. They're actually supposed to remove the back tires and flop them. So whatever's on the right side goes on the left and the left on the right for both the front and the back. I declined that because I've just recently put tires on my car. So to me, there was no need for doing a tire rotation. The other option I declined was the 30,000 mile servicing, which technically was a multi-point inspection, oil change, tire rotation, and wiper blade replacement, and it was something else. Basically, it's a servicing package that's suggested, but it's nothing more than a couple extensions to the actual oil change. And so it's not like it was a trans filter replacement or something along those grounds. And so I declined it because at this point, like I said before, the extra maintenance I didn't feel like was needed, and if I would have took it, the total cost would have been like $339 before taxes. So I declined that servicing option. But overall, the 3-year servicing cost for my Corvette was $219.67. Do I feel like that was overpriced? I go back and forth because the 2-year oil change, but inflation does happen. But the 2-year oil change, just so we're on the same page, cost me $179. So I was expecting to spend $179 when I went in, and I came out spending $219. So I will say this, looking at this bill I have in my hand, it appears the parts costs have went up, and like I said, that could possibly be inflation. But the last time I got my vehicle serviced, the parts were not $109. The parts were actually themselves right around $90. So like the parts and stuff went up about 20 bucks. So if you subtract that $20 out, this will be the same as the original oil change cost from last year. But that's everything for my 3-year service. So you guys tell me in the comments below if you have any questions. We can go in more details about the packages I declined and so forth. But this is ICNV Driver's Edition. So go ahead, do me a favor, smash that like button, especially if you like this content. There's more stuff like this coming your way. And if you have any questions on this Corvette C8 ownership, remember I am in year 3, so I would gladly address them, and if it's interesting enough, I will make a video on it. But as always, chase your dreams, build your visions. Remember, it's okay to be unique, and as always, stay safe, stay blessed, and I will see you in these streets. Peace.